Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. But before we move forward, let's cue that. Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, Chelsea beat Zenit 1-0. Not the easiest of games, but we're here to review the game. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the game. We're going to do ratings. We'll go through ratings. We're going to talk about what I think is the issue that we currently have at the moment, which is the forward line. The forward line, again, let us down slightly in terms of chemistry, in terms of communication. It's quite annoying, quite frustrating, but at the end of the day, we do move. But before we move forward, guys, please make sure you smash. 1 second. Again, I've just sorted this out. Can you not hear it? Got my mic on. Oh man, I hate this mic. Can you hear me now? I've got my mic on. What about now, guys? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? It's better now, yeah? It's better now. All right, cool. Chelsea were lucky. Here we go. Guys, let me know if that's better, yeah? Better now. All right, cool. Sorry. Thank you very much. Guys, before we move forward, continue smashing the like button. I need to get to 30 likes as quickly as possible. I need you guys to help me get there. I will open the lines. However, we will just quickly do a quick match reaction. Me go through the stats. We'll go through some stats, go through the lineups. We'll give our quick ratings, talk about little individual issues that I think we have with the Chelsea team at the moment. Open up the lines. You guys get involved. Have your say, and we'll move from there. But before we go any further forward, who's in the chat? We've got Big Ron. Big up to you. Big up to Nick Blue as well. Good to see you, my man. Abdullah's here. He says, people, make sure you slap that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 2.7k subscribers, guys. Need you guys to help us get there, though. It'd be massively appreciated. Big up to Declared. Big up to Nick Blue, who just said, what about now? No, it's better now, yeah? Okay, cool. So I don't know if I'm reading old messages or not. It's panicking me out. Better. Zenit was on an 18-game unbeaten. I think they will beat Juventus, is what Red Blue podcast is saying as well. He thinks that Zenit are that good of a team for what he's seen, that he thinks that they can beat Juventus. Do you guys agree with that comment? And look, the whole talk about Chelsea smashing them 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, all these crazy predictions that came out were absolutely wrong. I'd say this. Zenit are unbeaten since March. I hadn't lost a game since March. And, we went into this game and I just felt like it was, we didn't know what we were facing. We didn't know what we were up against. And, they made it very hard. They set up very, very well. They were very hard to break down. We couldn't break through the lines against them, which made it very, very hard for us to even do so in the beginning. Big up to ZVO as well. What else we got here? Usual talking to yourself. Some people were saying it's muffled, but some people saying it's all right. What's going on? Oh, it's driving me mad. Can you actually hear me? Because no one's saying they can't hear me right now, and I feel like you can hear me. We all got it wrong. Johnny said 1-0. He did say 1-0 as well. But let's quickly go through, because I do want to delve into things quickly. Let's quickly go through the overall game itself, the stats. Obviously, Chelsea winning 1-0. That Romelu Lukaku goal, which is such a big goal, guys, because when you think about it, right, last season, we get ourselves into that position, struggling to score up against a low block team. We would usually tend to struggle to walk out of that game with anything, and the difference is now is that we have a striker. We have a striker that can, put the ball in the back of the net and win us games, even when we're not playing well. And that will be the difference for Chelsea in accumulating points, massively accumulating points. What else are people saying? Big up, Jem. Big up to Oliver, who's in the chat as well. Hope you're okay. Can hear me. See what London says. Zenit were very compact and and we struggled to play in between the lines. Plus the poor passing didn't help either. And I agree. We're going to delve into that. Last season they would have easily lost or draw. I agree, Sen. I agree. And yes, it was a 1-0 win. If we scroll down here, match stats are right here. Chelsea had 66% possession over Zenit's 33. The total shots in the game were 11-6. So even though they didn't impose themselves a lot, they were playing counter football and they were definitely trying to counter Chelsea on the attack. In terms of target shots, it's 2-2. Off target, 4-3. Blocked 5-1. It really shows how well they defended, even though we had most of the possession. Passing wise, we were at 91%. They were at 84%. Corners, we had more than them. They only had one offside. In terms of tackles, they won more of the tackles. They won more aerial duels than us as well. And Mendy made more saves, really. Mendy made more saves than their goalie did, which is very weird. Fouls 1, obviously 8-5. Yellow cards 1-1, fair enough. And our form going into that before that game was pretty decent, and so was theirs until they lost that game against us. So they made it hard. Hats off to them as well, because I thought they defended massively well, made it very, very hard for us to even try and break them down. And you know what? Okay, cool. I was just reading that comment from Big Ron. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to buy a new mic, but as long as you can hear me, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? If it's not as crisp as I usually am, at least you can hear what I'm saying. Big up to Almighty Blue. Big up to Chris as well. And look, the game went how we kind of thought, right? We thought Chelsea would have to, would have most of the ball, try and work breaking them down. They were always going to sit. They were always going to sit, make it hard. And hats off to them. I thought, to be honest, they played very well. I thought they played very, very, very well, Zenit, and especially in the first half, we found it so hard, so hard to break them down, and that is partly to do with us. It was partly to do with us. We are going to do a debate show this weekend, and we're going to talk about a certain individual. I ain't going to say who it is now, but we will be talking about a certain individual and debating about where he is in the pecking order, because I really thought he had an absolute stinker. I know there was a lot of scrutiny on Mason Mount and some other individuals as well as we went along, but I just feel like certain individuals have been given opportunities and they just completely and utterly keep wasting them as well. Big up to CFC Time who's in the chat as well. Guys, 30 likes. Continue smashing the like button. Let's try and get to 30 likes as quickly as possible. Share on all your socials as well. Subscribe to the channel. It's massively important to us if you do that as well. So let's quickly just fly through the ratings, because like I said, I don't want to be sitting on too long. I want to talk about the overall game, open up the lines for you guys, but we have to get to 40 likes. Get me to 40 likes. I dropped the link. You can come in a lot more sooner. So we've got the UEFA Champions League squad that I've shared with you guys just now. So Edouard Mendy, as we know, was in goal for Chelsea. There he is. And it was nice seeing him and Jorginho and Kante and Tuchel all at the beginning of the game picking up their awards at the bridge, everyone cheering them on. Looked like a great vibe, but it didn't look like a full stadium, to be fair. Could have got tickets, and I kind of wish I went, but it is what it is. Yeah, Edouard Mendy, rating out of 10, guys. Give me your views and thoughts on Edouard Mendy's performance. I thought he done okay. I mean, there's nothing, it wasn't really called upon a lot. I can only think of one real good chance that they had in the second half where they whipped the ball across the goal and they should have finished it. Did he have to make any saves? They had some shots outside the box and he catched it. Overall, Mendy for me was probably a 6.57 because he had nothing to do. So I don't think there was any more that we can give Edouard Mendy than a 6.5. I don't know what you guys are feeling. We've got a 7 in the house. Redneck, who was on the channel yesterday, I don't know if you were tuning in to that massive show we done yesterday, preview show. He was bigging up and telling us about Zenit, and he made it very clear that it won't be easy. We will not be slapping them. And he said that there should be more respect on the Russian league than what we were originally doing. I think yesterday probably hushed a lot of people up in terms of how well they defended and how hard they made it for us to break them down. So he was right. He was definitely right. Over 31 of views here, 10 minutes in, 40 likes, guys. 40. Let's get to 30 and then 40 likes. I dropped the link. Let me know what your ratings are on this game. 7 for Mendy, 7 we got from Nick Blue as well. We're going to move on anyway. Let's fly through this. Oh, why does it do that? Why does it do that, guys? Now I can't see you. Sorry. Antonio Rudiger. Mr. Antonio Rudiger, again, absolutely formidable. Had a great game for us yesterday. I thought he was one. I mean, he done a Zuma run. He got the ball and he ran the whole end of the pitch. He done a Zuma, if you remember. I think it was against Ajax. He ran the whole end of the pitch, done a little step over, left, right, shimmy, turn in and bang. You know, he was, again, solid. You know, pushing people off the ball. That Malcolm that Zenit had down the right wing, who was supposedly meant to be a threat, the Brazilian, he was in his back pocket. He was in Rudiger's back pocket. Rudiger had such a good performance yesterday. I think he was easily an 8.5, 9. I know some people in the chat already started. Glenn says 9. CFC Times says 7.5. Graywall Stinner says 9. Redneck says 8. Rudiger is a 9 out of 10 for Almighty Blue as well. 8, 9 is what Graywall Stinner is saying as well. He thinks, Rudiger had a good game. I would say an 8. I think it was an 8, 8.5 at a push you could possibly get away with giving him as well. But he is someone that we need to sign. We need to pin down on a contract, especially in this system, in the way that we play. He is one of the most comfortable in this current position. And the only issue that I have with it, and I keep saying it, is just that we haven't got backup for him. I do think Christensen can play there. Maybe later in the season we'll maybe see that Rudiger's rested and someone like Christensen. There's talks about Chalobah as well coming in and taking his place. But to be honest, he will play most of the games this season, then he won't. And I expect him to, continuously keep putting in them performances, because he's on form at the moment. He's massively on form. 22 likes, guys. We're 8 away from 30 likes. There's 32 people here. Let's try and get to that, please. We're going to move on swiftly, and we're going to move on to Andreas Christensen, because he comes in for Thiago Silva, who actually had a very good game against Aston Villa, especially in that first half. And Andreas Christensen again was faultless. He was absolutely faultless. He was strong. He was, his recovery speed's very good. His covering was immense. And to be honest, he deserved, barring Rudiger's performance, I'd say he was the best at the back by far. We never really looked uncomfortable, is what I would say. We don't. One thing I would say with Tuchel teams is, when we play against people, I never really worry that we're going to concede many goals. We might concede a goal here and there in a game, but I never worry that we're going to be absolutely blown away at the back. And it's down to these guys at the moment. It's down to these guys and the performances that they are putting in for our football club. And he again had a great performance. And to be honest, you could probably throw him a 7.58. I'll give him a 7.5 because I thought he played very, very well. Very, very well. And I'm someone that criticised Christensen a lot. But again, system works for certain individuals, and Jorginho, Rudiger, Christensen, they are all benefiting from this setup as well. So I would give him a solid 7.5. 8s, and 8s, I wouldn't argue 8s. Big up Angela, I love Chelsea. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. AC's a 9. Has football brain. He's in football game. Is incredible. My man of the match, guys. I want to know your man of the match at the end of the review. I'll give mine at the end of the review in the squad. I'll give you my man of the match, and we'll go from there. He said he was man of the match for him as well, Redneck, 8.5. So some people think he was better than Rudiger. I actually thought Rudiger played better than him, but again, I wouldn't say there was a massive difference. I wouldn't say there was a massive difference between the two. I noticed that Angola is a country. Yeah, no, don't worry. I know, I just read it wrong. Right, so we move on to Mr. Reliable. Where is he? Where are you, Mr. Reliable? There he is. Mr. Aspie. Aspilicueta, age 32. again had a faultless game. Really, he didn't really get caught out of position. Solid at the back, worked very well with Christensen and Rudiger. And I keep saying this: if Thiago Silva doesn't play, you will see Aspie play. They are our two main leaders in the team. Either or will play in these games. And let's be serious, he was faultless again. He was faultless. He had a good game, but he's Mr. Reliable. He's got to the point now where his performances are always pretty much near enough the same. You don't get let down by Aspilicueta whatsoever. And again, there's not much to really say to him other than I thought he had a good game. So I'd give him a 7.5. Again, faultless, nothing wrong. Redneck saying 6. Slen saying 9. Grey Wolfstinner saying he's a 9 for him, for his captain. Grey Wolfstinner is rating him a 9. Aspie's an 8. Aspie 7.5. Man, Mr. Consistent. What a cross for his goal. Surely was. Aspie had a poor first half, but grew into the second. Crucial assist, so I'd give him 7. Yes, don't forget the assist. That assist reminded me of when we had Morata. Do you know how many times that Aspie played that ball around the back, like sort of a curved ball to the back post? And it was a great header from Romelu Lukaku, man. Top man, big Rom. Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. And I don't think the defence is what the talking point, to be honest. We're going to move on swiftly. We are going to move on to... we ain't going to talk about the subs because I thought, look, Chilwell came on for a little bit. I thought he done quite well in the small time that he came on. Thiago Silva came in as well. Again, played a good game. Let's move on. Let's move on to Jorginho. I thought Jorginho, again, hats off to him. You know, picking up his Player of the Year award at Stamford Bridge as well. It was nice to see him do that as well. Yeah, he had an okay game. I think it was his best game. He controlled the midfield in the second half better for me. I would probably say that Jorginho pushed probably a 7, a 6.57. I would probably say. Again, nothing amazing. Kept the ball ticking. Got stuck in. He gave the ball away in the first half a little bit. It wasn't, you know, his passing wasn't as killer as it usually is. But in the long run, I thought he had an overall decent game. I don't think he was the best out of the two. I thought we're going to get to Kovacic, but I thought Kovacic was better. Let me know what your thoughts were on Jorginho, because I again thought he had a game that, again, he, you know, like I said, he controlled. 7, very tidy performance. Jorginho had a quiet class game. Yeah, it's probably the word. 7. Jorginho was good in the second half, so 7 again. 7 for Wave as well. Guys, there's over 40 of you here right now. Continue smashing the like button. 40 likes is the aim for the stream. We can do that. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on a road to 2.7k. The link will be released very shortly for you guys. I want your thoughts on the game yesterday. I still want to know who your man in the matches was as well. Save that and give that to me at the end of the game. But Jorginho for me, I agree. 7. 7's a good number for him. So we'll give him a 7. Then we're going to move on to Mateo Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic for me was the man on the pitch again. He was unbelievable. He winning the ball, progressing with the ball, dribbles. His feet look quicker. He looks lighter on his feet. Winning challenges. I remember him chasing Malcolm down the right, and he done like a side Carvalho tackle. I like to call it a Carvalho tackle, where he uses that one sort of back foot to like tap the ball away, and he done it very, very well. And he had a great game for me yesterday. I thought he was awesome again, and I hope he continues this form, because when he plays like he does, sorry guys, I generally think he probably has what I would say the most. He probably has the most talent, the most everything: passing, tackling, speed, positioning, progression. He has everything. He has the full package. The only thing that Mateo Kovacic has to sort out, and I think we can all agree on this, is just his final third passing. If you get his final third passing right, then, you know, he would be a starter. He would be a guaranteed starter for me. He may even be benching someone like Jorginho, or even Kante. Maybe you see Kante bench more and Kovacic and Jorginho playing more games. 8.5. Kovacic was his man of the match. Kovacic was a 9. Very good, very good. He had 104 touches and 96% pass completion rate is what Slen TV is saying, which is good stat to know, bro. Santana saying 9, 8. He was cold. Gabriel saying 9 as well. Cover gets a 9.5. Most consistent through the 90 minutes is what Almighty Blue is saying as well. 8 for Grey Wolf Dinner. He said a bit inconsistent, but I'd play him against them. You say he's inconsistent. I thought he was very good yesterday, and it shows, doesn't it? Sal gave him a push. Potentially, we're seeing these performances from Kovacic due to Sal coming to the team. Maybe knowing that there's more competition there. Maybe knowing that him being a certified spot holder, playing in the back of his mind, could be the answer. Maybe that is very true, Wave. Very, very, very true. C1 says he was our best player as well. A 2. Ganshot is saying that he was a 2. Explain that, bro. Elaborate why he's a 2. Elaborate why he's a 2. He's 28. If he's not sorted his passing by now, he'll never will. Plus, you forgot to mention he can't finish either. He can't finish either, and I get that. But they're playing deep sixes. So what do you expect them to do? Really, I mean, Sal out of all of them is the one that you'll see probably finishing them off more. But in terms of asking Mateo Kovacic to do that, we know he doesn't do that. But if he could do everything else as well as he did yesterday, then why not have him? In my eyes, why he starts, especially in this system. He keeps the ball ticking. Progressively very good as well. So we move on anyway, because we get into the talking points very soon. Talking points. Keep smashing the likes, guys. We're not at 30 likes at the moment still. Let's try and get to that. And then we're at the next aim's 40 likes. If we can get to the 40 likes mark, it would be massively appreciated. Next up is Reece James. Obviously, we know he's been on a ban. We know he was potentially probably 100% starter based on that situation. I thought Reece James again had an average game. Gunshot saying the reason Kovacic is a 2 is because he was shit like Mount. Fair enough. It'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are on others when we get to him as well. But do you agree with what Garn says? Kovacic was a 2 in his position, in what he believes. I thought Reece James was tidy again. He didn't do much wrong. I'd probably give Reece James, probably give him a 6.5 again. He gives us balance, doesn't he? And he's good defensively. He done very well getting back when they nearly scored in the first half, where he should have been in position, but he got caught out. Going forward, I want him to cross more sometimes. I feel like he gets the ball and he sort of hesitates. I don't want that hesitation. I want to see him whipping them balls, whipping them balls behind, and sort of giving more to Lukaku to attack as well. So we'll see what happens in that. But 7.5, James had a solid game, but just about saved us 7.5. 6. We're getting a lot of 6s. Big up to Daniels in the chat as well. Says morning to everyone, morning to you. It's afternoon here, bro. It's afternoon. Afternoon and morning, shall I say. Yeah, 6.5 is cool. He was okay. The only good thing yesterday when he recovered his mistake. Yeah, I get that. It was a hard game overall going forward, and this is why we're going to talk about it a bit more into detail very soon. He actually beat his man on the dribble a couple of times, but crossing wasn't up to mark. Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that. But let's move on, because I don't think Reece James is the real talking topic, I don't get how we're gonna talk quickly about him, but I don't get how this guy still gets in our teams. I really don't. I really, really don't. If it's based on form, then that form in the last 2 games for me has dropped, has dipped. So Marcos Alonso, he's one of them players that we know what to expect from him in terms of his form. You can't get any better. You know what you're going to get from him. It's just, I feel like there's always a mistake coming with him. Something's going to happen. He's going to be out of position. He's going to get caught, and I don't want that. And I don't mind him in the team. I don't mind him as rotation, but I don't want to consistently see Marcos Alonso playing for our football club. I just don't want to see that. I want to see Chilwell getting back into the game more. I want to see Chilwell playing more games than Alonso, if you want my honest opinion. And again, he just sometimes, just for me, he's just too slow. He's just too slow. He's good in the box. Yeah, he nearly scored yesterday, which is quite neat and tidy. That's Alonso's game. We know he's good in the box, providing you get the ball to him. But other than that, he doesn't offer enough down the wing, I think, anyway. So, I would give him a 6.6 for me. I agree. 6 here from Nick Blue. 6.5 4 for the shed end. He says 4 for Alonso. Chilwell should be starting. Almighty Blue saying Alonso had an average game at best, 5.5 for him. Alonso 7 was better than James, is what Grable's Dinner thinks. Wow. 5 first half, 4.5 second half for Redneck. Chile should be playing next game. Alonso was okay, but too slow. When he needs to pass, press or burst of pace of the wing across, he took too long. I agree. He just hasn't got the energy. He just hasn't got the pace to get up the pitch quick enough, and that's my issue with him, Alonso, man, he was poor. His combination play yesterday was shocking. Instead of holding the whips, he was coming in as a second striker, and he makes Rudiger do 2 jobs. In many ways, I hear that Rudiger covered him a number of times because he was well far forward and he just couldn't get back as well. They were treating Chilwell like England did not right. He just won the Champions League and had Mahrez on his pocket. Yeah, it's a weird one. The Chilwell thing's a little bit weird. I'm still a bit lost with it. I know that he had a lot of issues out of the club. There was some mental issues. Personally, I don't know what, but he was mentally tired, was what Tuchel was saying. Physically, he's obviously not the fittest. He's not played many games since he kicked the ball in Champions League as well. So, big up to Bex is in the house as well. I give Alonso a 6. Guys, 40 likes, over 50 of you here. Let's try and smash that like button. Yeah, I'm going to be releasing the link to you guys very, very soon. But let's move on because the talking points for me, like I said, is not Alonso. We know what we get from Alonso. I want to move on to the forward line. We've covered all these. And I want to start in this order. Mason Mount. Mason Money Mount. Mason Mount. I see a lot of people, Chelsea fans on social media, criticising Mason Mount's performance, not happy with his final third passing, not happy with what he was doing within the game. I actually thought Mason Mount, even though I felt like his final pass was poor, was offering more than an example. We're going to get to him last year, for example. Yes, he was dreadful with his passing. The one thing he done very well yesterday was once he got the ball, he looked direct into Lukaku, who was playing the balls into him quickly. Now, that's what I wanted to see. But the issue we had with our front three, and I said this already, is the chemistry. There is a chemistry issue because Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech made it very clear to us yesterday that the chemistry doesn't work between the two. The issue that you have with playing both Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech together behind Lukaku is that they both want ball to feet, which means they go deep, they pick the ball up from Jorginho, Kante, sometimes from the defence, they turn round and then they want to play the ball up to whoever's up further up the pitch. But what they forget in doing that is that you then leave Lukaku very isolated. How many times in the game yesterday, especially in the first half, was Romelu Lukaku left isolated up front, or you take on a player, you'd get round the player, and then there would be no one around him, no one supporting him, because Hakim Ziyech was too deep because he wanted the ball. Mason Mount was too deep because he wanted the ball. Every time the ball got played into Lukaku, there was no one there. This is my thing, and this is where I think Thomas Tuchel needs to suss it very quickly, especially going into the Premier League, because the games are coming thick and fast. I'm cool with rotation. Rotation is not the issue. My issue is playing, not having chemistry or getting players to play that just don't work. And I think the way that we should move forward is Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech is either or of one of them with Lukaku and or Havertz and Timo Werner. The reason I say Havertz and Timo Werner is pretty clear and obvious. If you looked at the game yesterday, when Havertz came on the pitch, we looked more fluid. We looked more comfortable. We looked more like we had more going on. I think Hakim Ziyech and Mason Mount are too similar. They want ball to feet. They want to come deep. We don't want that. And when you're playing against a team that's set up as well as Zenit, low block, and we're going to come against many low block teams going into this season, yeah, it's very easy for them to defend because you're not moving them. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting in front of you like that, in front of their defence, their midfield and defenders. They're sitting in front and they're watching us. They're watching Mason Mount and Ziyech go all the way up to pick the ball from Kovacic and do 1-2s and turn around. There's nothing for them other than to defend Lukaku, who makes runs, and they can gang up at him because he's got no one running off him. And that's what happened in the first half. That was the issue. Kai Havertz, if he's on the pitch, he will make the run off. So if Mason Mount wants to go deep, Kai Havertz will go and join Lukaku up the pitch. And that's where you will see space, and that's where you will see us play a lot more easier and a lot more fluid. And this is why I want to see Timo Werner. Timo Werner will play close touch to Lukaku. He will be next to Lukaku. You know, he will be next to Lukaku. So, like I keep saying to you guys, I want Lukaku, Mason Mount / Ziyech, or Havertz / Werner. You can throw Pulisic in the mix as well, or whatever, because he's direct, and I think again he plays a lot more closer to a Lukaku than a Ziyech does. But in terms of Mason Mount's performance, I think it was a 5.5, maybe a 5.5. 5.5 I'd give him. What are you guys saying in the chat about it? There's over 60 of you here, guys. We should be on 40 likes. What are we on? Let's see what we've got going on here. 66 people here. We've got 35 likes. We're 5 away from 40. Continue smashing likes. There's so much going in the conversation. I want to try and fly through that before we go on to the next person. He's GNA. He's frustrating to watch. All right, so Ram's not happy with Liverpool fans. Not happy with Mason Mount. Kai looked tired. I agree. You know, I do think Timo Werner should have started yesterday. See, when London says facts, Jim, received the ball on the half turn, they caused problems, but they were doing that, and it made it even worse for Lukaku to hold the ball up. Exactly. Mount was poor. We are playing a very low block team. What did we expect a 4-0 win? No, you know, I get that, but. Rebecca's saying Mount and Havertz have a good understanding. Yeah, and why it works, Bex, is because one makes runs, the other goes to feet. One goes deeper, one makes runs and supports the striker. You can't have two that don't do that, you know, that just don't do that. Havertz, Lukaku, Werner might be it for now, is what Santana's saying. No way, bro, he was the worst player on the pitch, is what Santana is. I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Mason Mount might have had a badish game for him based on his standards. This is the thing that we need to understand as Chelsea fans. Mason Mount in the last 2 seasons has set such high standards of himself, because he's played at such a high standard that when he has a game like he did yesterday, where the balls ain't flowing, we're not linking well, the chemistry's not there, he gets criticised heavily because we expect more from him. Yes, with Kai, Mason Mount looked better overall. 7 we got here. 7. I would give Mount a 5.5 as well. His decision making execution was off. It was off. Yeah, I don't think he was a 3 or a 2. I would never put him in that bracket ever, because I actually thought, not say never ever, because he wasn't. He might drop to that level, but I thought I don't think he was that bad, guys. If that makes sense. All right, he might have been bad with his passing, but you know, the chemistry wasn't there. The link-up play wasn't there. The link-up play between the players wasn't there. Once there's no chemistry, and you know his passes that he's making ain't reaching where they're meant to reach, it's because then the link-up's not there. You know, and that's why I said to you, the Ziyechs and the Mounts, the chemistry's not there. The two, they don't work together. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You play either or, and we're going to move on anyway because we'll be stuck on Mount. I want you guys to get in as well. So I know you guys are banging on about it. I can see some people are angry with Mount, saying he's crap, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, all the players around Lukaku need to take a good look at themselves and up their game. Lukaku is world-class striker who needs to be fit. And I agree. I agree massively with what Beck's saying. It's over 80 of you here, guys. 50 likes is the aim. You get us to 50 likes, link goes in the chat. I want your thoughts and opinions on the game and players as well. We're going to be doing a debate show as well. We ain't going to go to Hakim Ziyech. We're going to go to, I'm going to save him last because I need to save him last. Big Rom, Romelu Lukaku stepping up again, and he was the difference yesterday. Like I said to you guys, that type of game yesterday, last season, we would have drew. Why? Because that ball that Aspie whipped into the box with Timo Werner at the end of it, he's never scoring that. Or he's never even reaching that because he's just too small for it anyway. We never would have thought of whipping that ball in like that. The difference is he is a goal scorer. He continues to, in many ways, lead the line. 4 goals in 4 games already for him in all competitions as well. And for me, he was again going to get. I mean, he was starved in the first half. Let's say the least. He was starved in the first half. You know, he wasn't getting the balls into him. His link-up play was still good. I thought, what what surprised me with him yesterday was how well he held the ball up, how well he was holding the ball up and bringing people into the game. You know, that is what I would say was very impressive of him. But I thought he was an 8.59, anything around that region. I think Romelu Lukaku was definitely up there as well. And he gets his goal, and he deserves that goal. He deserved that goal because of his movement, his run off. And I just want to see us sometimes just cross the ball in more for him. Just get the ball in there more, whip the ball into him. Be a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like we dilly-dally too much outside the box. We always do sideward passing, and one tries to overrun the other. And you know what I mean? Just get the ball in there. Just whip it in, and that's what we got. Bolnogli is what Rebecca's saying. Link will be soon, guys. 75 of you here. Continue to smash. Let's go through some of your chats. Rom is a 7, 9. Lukaku had nothing to feed off, but when he got his chance, he bagged. And just for bagging it, he deserves an 8 and a 9 for winning us that type of game. Paulinho's way says there is a difference between not linking up well and blatantly bad passing. MM and Ziyech both had some really bad balls. Yeah, I hear that. Lukaku was an 8 with the limited service again eating, man, but he was a bit selfish at times on the counter. But apart from that, you can't fault him. I don't mind him being selfish, you know. I jumped onto the stream late. Have we laughed at Man U yet? No, but we can have a laugh at Man U. 80 plus people here. Let's all laugh at Man U. 1, 2, 3. Ha! They can't even hold a draw against a 10-man young boys. Chelsea are at Anfield holding draws with 10 men for like the full second half. Do you know what I mean? Against the Mane and all these lot. These like, come on, man. There's levels to this. There's levels to this, Man United. There's levels. That's all I'm going to say. You know, losing to my young boys made my day. Us winning and them losing. The Ollie outers. But we move. Lukaku, 9, 8.5, 9. Guys, there's nearly 100 of you here. 100 of you. Smash the like button. The aim is 75 likes. The link is going to be in the chat very soon. Let's move off from Lukaku. There's only one more man to talk about, and I saved him last purposefully. Because Hakim Ziyech. We will be doing a talk show about this guy specifically. I'm not going to bang on about it too much in here because it will be on one of the debates choices. We will be talking about him. Look at everybody laughing. The laughs. Ollie is so shit. Laughs. I love it. We love it. Laughs. Don't just love the family. Don't I just love the family? Big up the family. The GNA family are the best, man. The GNA TV community are the best family here on YouTube by far. That's the one thing I will say with chest. We are the best community going. With the quality of our squad, we should be killing games off by half time. Hakim Ziyech. Let's talk about him because for me, he doesn't offer fuck all. Sorry about swearing, but it's getting to the point now where what does he do? What is it he does? At least with Mason Mount, all right, his passing's bad here and there. He gets about the pitch. He's non-existent. In that first half, him and along with Alonso, I felt like we were playing with 9 men. 10 men. 10 men. He doesn't take his opportunities. He doesn't take his chances. Every time, and Tuchel keeps giving him this opportunity to shine. Hakim Ziyech was brought into this team to create. Yeah, that's the main thing he's been brought into this team. And I feel like that he's struggling with this system. This way of playing, him mainly now more so than Pulisic, because Pulisic's now injured again. But him more so. And for me, he has fallen down the pecking order massively. He should not be starting games. I scratch my head when you have Timo Werner sitting on the bench, who I believe is more impactful than Hakim Ziyech. I keep saying this to you guys on the show. Said it to you yesterday as well. He got another opportunity to show us, to give us something, show us what he's about. Hakim Ziyech, he's in his prime, guys. Hakim Ziyech is in his goddamn prime. He's in his prime. How is this guy struggling? How is he struggling? Why is he so non-existent? It's becoming a bit of an issue a little bit because Tuchel keeps playing him, trying to give him the form or trying to bring the best out of him. Or he thinks he's a big game player, is what Tuchel said. He thinks he's a big game player, someone that he believes will in many ways, you know, be important to us. But at the moment, he doesn't deserve to be on the pitch. I'm sorry, he doesn't. There's nothing that you know. He consistently keeps dropping. I know we want to talk about Mason Mount and his performance, but Ziyech, every time he gets given opportunity, he drops stinkers. I look at him and I think to myself, what does he offer? What is it he does? What is it that he you know, why is he playing? What does he bring to the team? What he should be bringing to the team is creativity, because we lack that in massively. Other than our wing backs, i.e. Reece James, shall I say, and sometimes our sixes, where does our creativity come from? Where should it come from? Where should it come from? It should be coming from players like him. And that's my issue. I'd rather have a Timo Werner on the pitch that's more impactful, that's more, what's the word? Yeah, more impactful. You know, all right, he doesn't score goals, and people want to moan about that, but at least he offers something. I don't know what he offers, and I think him, maybe even Pulisic to a degree, they're all struggling with this system. It doesn't work for them. They're wingers. They want to be wingers, and in this system, they can't be wingers. You know, and that is my biggest issue going forward for Chelsea going through this season. How do we get the best out of the people behind Lukaku? How do we get the best out of a Ziyech? How do we get the best out of a Pulisic? How do we get the best out of a Mount, a Havertz, a Werner? For me, Mount, Havertz, and Lukaku are the main three. The second main three for me is Lukaku, Werner, Mount, or Lukaku, Werner, Havertz. That's my second. That's my second choice. You know, I just don't see Ziyech in it, and Pulisic in and out of, you know, can get in it. Jim, don't get started on Ziyech. He was shocking again. Free, he didn't create anything. Is what you're saying there. Mount better than Ziyech. Ziyech was supposed to be the man who unlocks defences when we aren't playing well. He was crap yesterday. At this point, there's nothing different between him and Barkley. Did you hear that? Over 100 of you here. Did you hear that comment from Abs? Do you agree? Ross Barkley offers more than Hakim Ziyech. But when you look at his pre-season form, you hope he could get that back. But why can't he get that back? Why is he inconsistent? Why can he not perform to that level? What is the issue? I can't lie, I don't like Werner, but I agree he is more impactful than Ziyech, is what Santana Man is saying as well. And that's the thing. Sometimes we've got to say it as we see it. We've got to leave our player agendas aside here. Player agendas aside and think what's best for our football club. And what's best for our football club at the moment is not Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech is not best for our football club. Like, I'm sorry, he shouldn't be playing. He should be benched. He doesn't deserve to be a starter. Paul says starting to seem like Ziyech just isn't getting to thrive in the Premier League. Will never ever get the time on the ball, and he got for Ajax. And yeah, I hear that. But do you feel that with Hakim Ziyech, is he good enough for Chelsea? Because a certain individual that comes on here, Kasim, you've seen him on here before, thinks he isn't. Thinks he's not good enough. Big up to the Blue Lounge as well. Mo's in the house. Big shout out to him as well. Hope he's well. Guys, the link is going to be in the chat. There's over 100 of you here right now. Let me drop the link in the chat. But Blue Lounge, you can clip it. But you know what? The one thing I will say to you, yeah, and I don't know if you've just come in just now because of the way I've just explained it, but he doesn't deserve to start. There's no reason. I think we can all agree that he shouldn't be starting these games. He's just not playing well enough. Can he change his form? Yes. Can he be better going in the season? Of course he can. I'm open to that. But at the moment, he shouldn't be starting games. And that's my issue. He shouldn't be starting games. Timo Werner, Havertz, Mount, I want to see it. We haven't been able to see a Timo Werner be given the opportunity yet to play with a Lukaku. Try it. You know, what is this thing with Hakim Ziyech? You've given him his opportunities, you know, and he's not taken them. Whether it's he's struggling to adapt to the system, whether he's struggling to adapt to something else, I don't know what it is. Understanding of his role. Maybe he's just not understanding his role well enough. I don't know. But it's just clearly not good enough. That's all I'm saying. It's just not good enough. And there's a lot of people that say a lot of people, some people that actually think he shouldn't be, but he's not good enough for Chelsea. Not me. I'm just saying what other people are saying. Some people are saying he's just not good enough for Chelsea. Daniel's saying, why did we buy Ziyech? You know, some people even question, why did we buy Ziyech? as well. I'm not even trolling. I would rather have Pedro than Ziyech right now, is what Santana Man is saying. Look, I don't want us to sound like we're being reactionary, and it's not being reactionary. It's more of a where we're at with him at the moment and what we've seen kind of thing. And what we've seen from him at the moment is just nothing. It's nothing. Why is he starting? You know, what is it he offers? E-Rock, he's saying Ziyech did absolutely nothing yesterday. Guys, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat for you guys to come in and have your say. We've got some people at the back already. Nick Blue, you need to come in again, mate. I can't add you in. It says your device is not connected. So go out and come back in, and I'll try and get you in. Like I said, guys, the link is there for you guys. But Bex, what's Bex saying? Bex is saying the random. This is random, but I believe we surrounded Hazard with the likes of Barkley Bakayoko in his prime. I know. Tell me about it. You know what I mean? And he still performed to 11. Can you imagine throwing Hazard around like Havertz and all these lot? Living out. None of these wingers would make it in the past. Pulisic was bought to replace Hazard. He does not even, if he could stay fit. Ziyech is not Chelsea level. Pedro was better. Sorry, is what Beautiful Game is saying. We've got Redneck Blue in the background. We've got Declared. We've got VJ here as well, guys. How you doing, fellas? You all well?
Good. How are you guys?
Good jam, mate.
Good to hear. We've also got Nick Blue here as well. Let's get him in as well. I want to start with Redneck because yesterday he was very adamant that a lot of Chelsea fans would be shut up because there was a lot of fans saying 5-0, 6-0, making Zenit sound like a very bad team. And he came out and said, "Look, this Zenit team is very good. It won't be easy. It won't be a walk in the park." Redneck, what are your thoughts on the game, mate?
Just as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, is still misconception about the Zenit, how they played yesterday. People saying that Zenit was parked a bus. There is a difference between parking a bus and defending with 5 people when you don't have a ball, and defending with 3 people when you have the ball. And there's a period of time in a game when we are not actually holding the ball. We didn't even press the ball. And that was the biggest thing for me. Like, how we're not trying to get the ball back. They were passing in the middle, and nobody was pressing.
Yeah, I agree. I think the intensity levels were low. But the thing that stood out for me the most yesterday, especially in the first half, was how predictable we was in our passing. It was very easy for Zenit just to sit, really just sit there, and we weren't moving them around enough. And I keep saying Hakim Ziyech, Mason Mount, they weren't doing enough. They weren't making runs. They weren't, they wanted to just do the easy ball, go to the midfielders, pick the ball up 1-2s, and we didn't need that. Lukaku was very isolated in the game as well,
What I didn't predict is how the Zenit lineup will be, because that's not the starting 11 for Zenit. They put the best foot.
Do you think they set up defensively then? Is that what you're saying? Do you think they
what?
Did they set up defensively?
No, they did not play with the direct ball to the striker. They tried to outrun it. What I think is like a mistake for them, but at the same time, they are better at the midfield. I said it yesterday. That Iranian striker, he's a threat. And there was everybody mentioned that the Zenit had the chance at the end of the game when Zuba almost got the ball. But that's not.
Someone's got music on in the background. Can we mute it, because that will copyright me? I couldn't even hear it until now. I think there's some sort of music in the background.
I don't know. There was a Zenit had a perfect chance to score, and when the guy was running, got run after the throw, and he split a defense in the middle. And I was like, man, if he would have scored that goal, that would be one of the greatest goals in Championship League. But thank God, defense Christensen got back and defended.
Yeah. Redneck, have you got music in the background, mate? You got some sort of I can hear it. I can hear something in the background.
Who, me?
I can hear something. I don't know if it's Declared or you. Everyone else is muted at the moment. I can hear something in the background.
I was muted. My headset, not the.
I need you to turn whatever that is. I need you to turn it down, only because of copywriting, mate. They'll just copyright me otherwise, and then I won't be able to. This stream will be a waste for me, and then I won't be able to pull it up on the stream. So, no, yeah. If you can just turn it down a little bit, mate, because it's a little bit noisy in the background. Declared, how you doing, man?
Good, Jim. Yourself.
Yeah, all right, mate. All right. What was your thoughts on the overall performance? I mean, I didn't get to say who's people's man of the matches. My man of the match is right there, Mateo Kovacic. That's part of the reason why I brought him up. But yeah, who was your man of the match, and how did you think the game went, mate?
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to give it to Lukaku just because how the game was. I have some interesting thoughts on the game and some worries and concerns as well. Because probably my analysis of the game, this game was very much like Villa, right? And this blueprint seems to come along now, and I'm worried that might be a little chink in the armor where we've actually what you couldn't do when we had the false nine. So you remember last time how I said one of the three always drops back to make the free, right, in the midfield, and so that's where they're going after that midfield. They're giving Reece James, the wing backs, let's say both of them, more space, right? So they're not concerned because when one drops into the midfield, those wing backs are isolated. So when they get the ball, there's not much on for them passing wise, right? So they're not so concerned about them. So they've attacked the midfield. That's why in the Villa game, they went after Havertz. And in this game, they went after Mount, right? And that's where the ball was lost most of the time as well.
Yeah.
And this is a little chink in the armor because one of them where we played Ziyech doesn't really he wasn't the first person to come back. It's Mount. Lukaku stays up. So they know Mount's going to come back and they pounced on him. This is why Kovacic looks great because they went after him as well. And he shines in these moments. He wiggled out of all of them. That's why in both these games, he's looked the best, right? And it's because what I'm worried about more is that other teams are starting to pick up this tactic, and they're going to play, and they're going to make it hard for us. But when we play Havertz and Mount as well, I don't think this is much of an issue. I think this is how we counter that issue. But this is why the game was real hard.
Yeah.
And why I gave Lukaku man of the match because he had not much to work with, and he actually got us. And the good thing is that this is actually not that we've been found out, but this is a little tactic that's working against us, and we're still getting the wins. Yeah. So I think that's the very good news.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying there as well, Declared. I think what you said makes sense. I wouldn't have given Lukaku man of the match, like I said. I'd given Kovacic it as well, but
just how important that goal was, and it's hard to. Yeah, I mean, I sound like I was waffling on a bit, but it's hard to. I don't have no draw board or to show you exactly. What I mean, I don't have the pin-up whiteboard to show you exactly the movements and that, but I don't think it was like. It's like how you question what's the action doing, and we're trying to shoehorn out these wingers into those roles, and it's not working. And I think that's going to might be our downfall, and might be forced to play Havertz and Mount a lot more than we think, and Lukaku as well.
Yeah, I do hear you, mate. I do hear you. And like I said, I think what you said there is the most important thing. We won the game, and it's a game that we probably wouldn't have won last season, right? And the difference is Lukaku. So I get why he gave him man of the match, and it was a very, very hard game moving forward. But we've got VJ here as well. VJ, how you doing, mate?
All good, Jim. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, all good. So my thoughts on this particular game. My man of the match, first of all, is Romelu Lukaku. The reason being, he's putting the ball in the back of the net. That's something that we did not see last year in Chelsea squad at all, right? I mean, we were struggling to get the ball to the back of the net. So for me, Romelu Lukaku, the man of the match. That is exactly where he brings in that change, right? I mean, that 97 million is working there, right? Because I mean, it's almost a 0-0 dead rubber sort of game. But then he was able to get that important moment, 68 minute goal in, and then we were straight up, winning that game. We knew that we're not going to let that 1-0, goal advantage go for a waste, because 23 games clean sheet is not something easy as an achievement for any coach, right? So Thomas Tuchel has been doing great on the defense, right? So Romelu Lukaku, my man of the match. Coach is getting 101 passes out of 104. perfectly right. That's almost 97% pass accuracy. Crazy play from Mateo Kovacic. A lot of dribbles as well. Jorginho ensured that the defense was in shape. Like I was kind of observing Jorginho's gameplay. Like he was calling out each and every single passes in the defense that he made. He was dictating the defense for Chelsea, and that's a great thing from having that sort of experience. Play like Jorginho in the squad. So amazing from Jorginho as well. The wingers like you were mentioning before, Ziyech. For me, Mount as well was not doing a great job this time. He's trying to float some the balls to Lukaku, which was not actually finding Lukaku, to be honest. From both the wings, it was almost like they were not getting that consistent balls into the net, into the box that we would expect from them. But then Reece James also, I felt, kind of was slow in tracking back, but that's probably because he just came out of a red card, and then he needs a couple of matches to get back to that sort of speed.
Yeah.
So otherwise, Alonso was the usual Alonso. That's how I put it.
Yeah.
I think
that's the thing, is that it's not much.
Right.
More.
Correct. And apart from that, the defense, Aspi was doing a great job. Rudiger with that one important tackle. Without that would have been definitely a goal. So Rudiger with that important tackle, and Christensen was doing a great job as well in terms of winning headers and providing those forward balls as well. So all in all, a very good game. Good to see Chilwell as well after the 81 minute. Though he just played for 9 minutes, it was still good to see him. So good news.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, especially on social media, there was a lot of Chelsea fans that were very upset with the performance. But I think what they're forgetting mainly about this performance is that last season, I keep saying it, we wouldn't have won that game, and that's the difference. And it will happen in the Premier League. We'll have games like this where we play against the team that's defensively set up very well. We find it hard to break them down, and Lukaku could be the difference. And I think that's something that we're just going to have to. That we just need to accept as Chelsea fans, that we can't always go and win 2-3-0 and blitz teams. It doesn't work like that, And yesterday's game was a good example of it in many ways as well. But we've got Nick with us. Nick, how you doing, mate? You all right? Oh, you're muted. 1 second, mate. Let's get you off mute. There you go. Go on, mate.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. Yeah, great channel. Yeah, I was just thinking what you were saying just now was very bad first half, but much better second half.
Yeah.
Zenit very good. We're not that good really. Everyone thought it'd be 4, 5, 6 nil, but it wasn't. Because plus we didn't play. A few players didn't play very well. Mainly Mason Mount was very bad for me. I never usually say this about Mount, but he was bad.
Yeah.
Ziyech was very bad as well. Them two mainly were the bad ones. But Rudiger for me is man of the match. Just
Rudiger.
Okay,
let's get him up. Rudiger's your man of the match.
Yeah, look, Rudiger. But Lukaku does what he does. He's our main man. He's the new king of Stamford Bridge, like I keep saying. We'll finally have a new king again. So I'm overall very pleased because we won. We can't say more than that. Now let's bring on Tottenham.
Yeah. I just want to quickly read saying, obviously, Paul was saying he's shocked that Werner didn't come on even with 5 subs available, a bit worrying after how bad our attack looked, especially in the first half. And the one thing I would say, which was slightly unusual about yesterday, is that the decisions we made to change the game were defensive rather than really attacking. Like I would have expected Werner, I would have expected something like that. He brought Thiago Silva on, and he took someone else off, didn't he, as well? He put Thiago Silva on, and he put Chilwell on, which I thought was a good move anyway. But for Alonso, which is fine. But it's
my opinion, the only person who could change the game yesterday was Pulisic. But he wasn't there. I don't think Werner will do anything because the problem with our game yesterday, none of our offensive players played took on directly on the player. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was taking one-on-one versus their defensive setup.
See, where I slightly disagree with that. I get what you're saying because he needs space to run into, and there wasn't a lot of space yesterday. But what I think he would have done a lot better than what was on in the first half, especially Ziyech, is that he would have played closer to Lukaku. I felt like Lukaku was very isolated in that first half, and when you saw Havertz come on in the second half, he was very close to Lukaku, and that's when we started looking a lot more fluid because he was finding gaps, little gaps behind the Zenit defense, and we looked better.
I'm okay with Kai. I'm definitely not okay with Werner. Werner wouldn't have done nothing. Werner would have been better if Werner, one of the players that can run out on the high line. He can stretch that high line. That's what he does best. I don't think he's good coming from the wing, like one-on-one versus player.
I still think you'd have offered more. I still think you would have offered more than.
I mean, yes, as bad as how Ziyech played and Mount. I mean, anybody off the bench would have done better. I just don't think it's going to be that much better.
Fair.
I think the concerning thing was that I think, like I was mentioning, the way they went after Mount is I think that they would have probably given a lot more people a bad game. That's why it looked a lot better when Havertz came on. If you saw,
I don't think they went after Mount. I think Mount was on his own. People keep forgetting that that's not his first bad game. That was his third bad game. He was bad since England European trip.
But don't count England, but that's a different.
Why not?
Different system. Yeah, different system, different coach, different role.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
two games then.
He didn't play the last one. Which was the other one bad game you're referring to?
Before the Villa game.
Who?
Before the Inter.
Liverpool
game.
Liverpool game.
That's a hard.
That's a bit. I thought we played.
I actually thought he did a good role. When we needed to hold 10 men. That was a hard game to judge it on players. I wouldn't call that one bad.
Yeah, I think
you would call that one bad.
Yeah, I will call that game bad.
But the thing is, right? This is the thing with Mason Mount. In the last 2 seasons that he's walked into this Chelsea team, he's set such high standards of his performances because he's been so important for us in the last 2 seasons that when he has a moment like he did yesterday where the balls ain't finding the players or he's not, he's not shooting, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. His levels are so high that we criticize him straight away. Like it's like,
I would agree on that.
And that's not a bad thing because we're allowed to criticize him. He's still very young. He's still a baby. Some people forget he's still a baby. Do you know what I mean? As well, he's not. He's only his 2nd season in the Premier League. Or was his 3rd now, isn't it? 3rd season in the Premier League. And he will learn. He will learn and he will get better, Mason Mount. But he's not invincible. He's not someone that we can just sit there and keep praising all the time. He is someone that we should be pointing fingers at as well, especially when he isn't playing as well. But Hakim Ziyech on the other side of things is he's in his prime. He hasn't got time to you know what I mean? He's 27, 28 now. He should be stepping up. He's the one that should be stepping up. And I don't know. I expect more from him. But Abs, go on, Abs, because you haven't spoke yet, mate. What's your thoughts? Who's your man of the match, and what's your thoughts on the game, mate?
I might have to agree with Nick on this because I think Rudiger was our man in the match, not just because of the defensive duels, but because he generally was the only one who seemed to be on job. He looked the most composed out of everyone. I have thought Mount and Ziyech were both as bad as each other. I disagree though. I don't think Alonso was that bad, to be honest. But no, sorry, I'd take it back. If I'm doing a rating, Ziyech gets a 1 and Mount gets a 3. Let's put it that way. Alonso, I don't even think Alonso was that bad, to be honest. It was good to see Reece James back. I thought Reece James was actually quite good, Do you see, the more we didn't get too many chances coming down our right hand side, whereas when we had Cho playing Villa were getting in behind loads of times. So for me, it's just the guys behind Lukaku that need to sort themselves out. Ziyech has been, oh my dear God, he's been so awful. He's actually been so dead. People were telling us this guy is the guy who's going to be like, when our backs are against the wall, he's going to be the guy who opens up defenses, like how Mara used to do it for us, or how Fabregas used to do it for us.
That's what we thought. That's what we bought, Abs.
I know. I excuse my French, but he's been pure shite since he's come to Chelsea. Like at this point, I wouldn't even be annoyed with playing Ross Barkley, to be honest, because at least Ross Barkley.
Loftus-Cheek, he came on as well.
No, but Loftus-Cheek is a good player. Loftus-Cheek, I've always said he's a good player. He scores goals. He's good at link play. He was our best player in that 89 season, Hazard's last season. So why not give Loftus-Cheek a run out? Even then, Loftus-Cheek is probably one of the best ball carriers in the club, aside from Kovacic and Pulisic. So if you're not going to play one of them, then maybe give him a chance. I'd like to see Loftus-Cheek against Villa in the Carabao Cup next week, to be honest. And then this weekend, I don't want to see Ziyech, and sadly, I don't want to see Havertz. I need to see Lukaku, I need to see Mount, and I need to see Timo Werner, because Timo Werner offers a lot more than what Ziyech is offering right now. Fair enough, he's not easy on the eye, Timo. Hakim Ziyech on the eye looks significantly better than him, and probably from a technical perspective is better. But what's his name? Werner, he works harder for the team and generally creates more space for Lukaku and Matt and other players in the team. So yeah, I can't be flipping seeing it.
Abs Zebio saying, do not compare Hakim Habib Ziyech to that dump, is what he's saying as well.
No, come on.
Abs, you're going to give us a technical analysis on how Loftus-Cheek's going to fit next week, yeah?
Not even. I just was... Hold on one second.
You said Werner offers more, right? What does Loftus-Cheek offer more? Because he doesn't, right?
Loftus-Cheek is a good ball carrier. He's quite... Nah, come on, man. Leave it. I've only got one girl. Leave it out. But nah, so you know what it is, declared. Loftus-Cheek's a good ball carrier. I just said that. And he's, from a technical perspective, he's actually quite good. Remember that season where he got like 10 goals and 10 assists? I think it was the season under Sarri. Why not give him another chance? I'm not saying in a massive game, but just give him a chance to see what he can do. Because fair enough, he got injured a bit.
You'll give him a chance against Spurs? That's when you're going to start?
Not against Spurs, no. Against Aston Villa in the League Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, of course he's going to play against League Cup. You said this weekend, so you brought us all off.
No, I said Werner this weekend. Werner's the man who has to start this weekend, and Havertz, and Loftus-Cheek against Aston Villa.
Yeah, but Tottenham are Wolves 2.0. Yeah, you're not gonna. This is like the worst game for Werner to try playing to get the best out of Werner.
All right, who do we play then? Because Ziyech has been crap.
Right, I've said it, but you heard me say it before. It has to be Havertz and Mount.
Okay.
Especially these big games, yeah. Has to be them two.
Okay, cool.
Like I've heard some look, I'll read it now too. So people keep talking about stretching of the play, yeah. And the people that stretch the play are the wing backs in this system. They're the people that play on the line. They're our wingers, basically. They're our wingers and our fullbacks put in one, right? That's how this system works. And they stretch the play, not Werner. Werner played on the inside, and the problem with Werner was he always drifted off that far and doubled up too much, right? And then you see Werner and Alonso's used to be close together, and then no one was in the box. That was one of our biggest issues, right? And I think he got better with that. Yeah.
Look, Alonso did it improve in the second half yesterday because he was closer to the sideline. Because in the first half he was not as wide. He was always on inside the box, and it was difficult to break him at that point. As soon as Alonso started coming all the way to the sideline, we stretched the Zenit a little bit.
I don't think
and he's meant to do that.
That was improvement after at the second half, and I think Tuchel told him that we need to stretch the game wider.
Yeah, they should be doing that, playing this long.
I don't think we will see. I think this weekend you'll see Mount, Havertz, and Lukaku again. I'd like to see Werner. I just don't think. I don't know why. I don't think he starts him.
I actually start to think there's a little bit something personal over there between Werner and Tuchel.
Why?
No, man, but Tuchel played him a lot. Remember?
Yeah.
What? Listen, Werner may not score goals, right? His finishing is not good, but his all-round game is a bit underrated. He got 27 goal contributions last year. Now, I'm not saying that stats are the be-all and end-all, but even if you watch him play, generally, we
I
look
agree.
more fluid than
Yeah,
what's it
I agree.
called? Than when we have Ziyech on the pitch. Because Ziyech, what's he doing? Man's stinking
Yeah,
out.
cool.
Place.
Dropping
Private-
fingers. That's what he's doing.
You know what's happening now, Abs especially, right? So you got Werner, Ziyech,
Hello.
and let's say Cho as well. Hey, what's her analysis?
Hello, guys. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. 4.
4-0.
All right, I'll give you 4.
4-0.
What is it getting at? Yeah. So those let's call them the inside forwards, right? Positions, right?
Yeah.
So because one's got to drop deep, Abs. So we've got to play Mount or Havertz. One of them have to play. So now you got one Werner, Ziyech, and let's throw Cho in there too, right? And now Tuchel's got them all fighting for that spot, right? And Werner was and still is to me above them all, right, in that pecking order. But Ziyech has had a good preseason, and he's rewarding that. Same with Alonso. The only reason Alonso plays, right, good preseason, like he's been in good form, so he keeps rewarding. So he's keeping the rotation. He's rewarding people for good performances, right? But now Ziyech hasn't been well. The people who play well, like he played well, and then he got injured. So when
Did anybody notice he still wears the brace on his shoulder?
yeah.
Oh shit.
So I
The
think
last game, that Villa game, they pulled on it too.
yeah, I think there's something there yet, because you know how much shoulder can affect a person when you try to turn. I will not give up on Ziyech yet, but he's on that list that people gonna lose the patience with him soon.
Well, having said that, I hope he's not avoiding surgery and playing injured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Surgery will take him out for a long time, but he'll be kind of average the whole season.
Yeah.
if he doesn't take a surgery.
Yeah.
So,
We got
I'm not sure if you guys have observed this or not. In the Villa game, there was a lot of times where the players, like Villa players, kind of targeted that particular shoulder and pulled him off. Just kept pulling him off always. Like he was falling down just because they were pulling the shoulder. So it was not a good sign as well. If he's getting injured and players are targeting him, then he could easily become that individual who can exploit.
Yeah, I hear you. We've got Daniel here with us as well. Daniel, what would you like to say, mate?
I just want to say big up to everyone. I'm just here to support you now. And
What's your thoughts on
a
the
win's a
game,
win.
mate?
A win's a win, innit? So we need to move on, guys. We can't win every game 4-5-0, like you said, or 3-0.
Yeah.
What do you think didn't work yesterday, Daniel? Like, what were the reasons that you think it wasn't working?
Didn't have enough support for Lukaku, did we?
Yeah, I agree. And what are your thoughts on Hakim Ziyech as well?
He hasn't been playing enough, has he? 'Cause he played pre-season, didn't he? And he played well. And then he played against, was it in the Super Cup?
Yeah.
And then he got injured. And then they brought him back in. I think he just needs.
I hear you, mate. I do hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. So who do you think will start against Spurs then? Who'll be your front three?
Havertz, Lukaku, and man.
There you go. I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. We've got Collins in the house. Collins here. No need to fear. Collins is here. What's he going to say today?
Yeah, good evening, guys. Good evening. It's nice to be here again. For me, I just sorry for you guys. I just joined up now. I was busy doing something, so I just have to join now. So about the topic you guys was discussing about the front three. For me, it's still the same front three: Lukaku, Havertz, and Mouse. Maybe if you want to solve, depends the game wants to play. You understand? Like the game we played yesterday. I could have loved to see Werner play the game yesterday because kind of use spaces, So, but if you want to move forward, maybe the bigger games, I would prefer maybe Lukaku, Havertz, Mouse. So I think that is the best front three for us.
Now, what do you think about the game yesterday, Collins?
For me, the game yesterday, I was very happy yesterday when I was watching the game. I don't know how people, maybe you are not going to play like 100% every time. This is Champions League and this is the first time, as in what we just have to do, just win the game, you understand? Win the game and move on. So get the 3 points is the most important thing. Yesterday when I was listening to David and Darren in this guys' YouTube. So what I don't know what Chelsea will do, maybe to please two of them. Sometimes this is game with football. Whenever your team win, just be happy that your team win. Or do you want to be Manchester United when your team lost? Because you are like finding everything possible for you to maybe to say something, maybe to discourage the team or to go against the team. So for me, yesterday we played very well yesterday because they if you watch what their game plan is to block us and pack the balls. Don't allow the team to express themselves, and that is their game plan. They are there to pick up draws, not to maybe to come and play normal flow football with Chelsea. So for us to grind down winning, I think that is a better result we can pray for. So 3 points, no matter you score 3 goals, so you score 4 goals. The most important thing that 3 points. So it's the most important thing. So I don't know what they want for maybe every day we play. We must like flush everybody 4-0, 5-0 before you start believing that this team is going to. And if you remember, most of them just came back from international break, so they need some time to train back again, get back to their normal fitness again. So I think that's the better result for me. I don't think anything yesterday apart from the 3 point, and I'm enjoying the whole thing, what the football is all about. So I don't care what anybody's talking about. Whenever Chelsea win, I'm always happy. Whenever Chelsea draw, if I look at the game and find out that okay, draw is okay for me, I'm always happy. So I don't see any other reason.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, mate. I do hear what you're saying. Obviously, like I said, the most important thing is we won the game. It's our title defence. We started our title defence with a win. Obviously, Juventus won 3-0 against Malmo. Wasn't it? 3-0 against Malmo. So they're sitting top of the league, top of the group at the moment. We have got Juventus on the 28th of September. So that will be...
Hold on a second. Can I address something? Romero on the chat. Romero best CB in London. Dude, just delete your account, man. Just delete it.
Being a Spurs fan,
I came here because I got this recommend. Oh,
no, Jem, we're gonna slap you, baby. Don't worry.
We're gonna slap you. Listen,
We're
guys.
not gonna slap them. They decent team. They put it defensively good. We're not gonna slap them. I hate this term, slap him. Just win 1-0, man.
Win. It doesn't matter about slapping.
Exactly. What's going on with those young generations about slapping? Yeah, I watch too much Pornhub.
No, but we smash them.
Right, who we got here?
Hey, Redneck, you watch some Pornhub, mate. Come on.
1 second, guys. We got Chidi. Chidi here. What are you saying, Chidi? Chidi? You gonna talk? Mate?
I think the game was good.
What the hell?
One game is cut.
I know he's got kicked. He's wasted my time. I ain't got time to be wasted. Nick, anything else you'd like to say, mate, about the about anything, about the players, about Mason Mount, about Hakim Ziyech? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. I just want to say about Sunday with Tottenham. We really want to smash them and prove a point to everyone. I don't want any 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I won't be satisfied unless it's 5 or 6-0.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we want to actually. I'm sorry, I was going to say that on show. Yeah. No, but we have to smash them, really.
We have to smash them.
Hat-trick. Lukaku hat-trick and Werner 2 and Havertz 1.
There you go. I mean, look, we're gonna do a Chelsea Spurs match preview. That will probably be either Saturday or maybe even Sunday. I haven't decided yet, but we are going to be doing a debate show as well. The debate show will be back, and it's going to be about a certain individual, which I think is going to be a bit complicated. We have a panel.
Nick Blue, are you wearing a Zenit shirt?
No.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
That's just a normal green shirt. I've got my 1970 Chelsea shirt in the back. Let me show you. Let me bring it on because I'll show you. You lot.
No. On the camera, it looks
Stay on
like
camera
you're
while
wearing
you
Zenit shirt.
sexy cat.
Yeah?
I said stay on camera while you do, you sexy cat. Hey Nick, you've seen that many Chelsea defeat Tottenham that many times, but still you need a thrashing.
Yeah.
You got a collection. You got a piggy bank. Oh, that's mint.
The car, yeah, that's nice, Nick. I want to
This
see.
is this is what Piraeus would wore in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, but is that the from 70s or it's
Yeah.
From the 70s.
like because they made that FA Cup new just for the FA Cup
Yeah,
tournament.
it's the same shirt we wore in the 1970s FA Cup.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go, guys.
That's nice. Nice.
Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're not even on 100 likes, and there's over 130 people.
Yeah.
Don't even make sense, but it should be on over 100 likes.
Yeah, Jim, you got a lot of Spurs fans in here. That's why.
Let's try and do that if we can, please. I have got to shoot because work and stuff and whatever else. And yeah, it's been a good stream, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Chelsea got the win 1-0.
Champions of Europe.
Champions of Europe. We know what we are, as they say. We know what we are.
Have a good one, guys.
We are.
Champions of Europe.
See, look, we're all happy already. All of them players that were doing our heads in, like CSs and that, forgot about them performances, and we're already happy about the.
We move on to the White Hart Spaz Lane.
Yeah. Actually, let's quickly laugh at Man United as well while we're here. Man United lost 2-1 to Young Boys yesterday.
Beautiful result.
That's a bit of a Pornhub title. Young Boys come from behind to win.
Can I say something? Can I say something? What is his name? The guy with glass. The guy with glass. What is it? Yeah. You know, yesterday. Yeah. The guy with the glass. So I like.
All three you got glasses on.
Which one?
Cole's making me laugh because he's pointing to the screen, and I think he's talking to me. I got no camera and no glasses too.
No, I'm talking about. I like the way you speak in football terrorists. I like the way you speak. Because whenever you come on the show, I enjoy how you speak, and because being a Chelsea, you have to stand for your club. You have to be honest and go for whatever you want, and that is why most of us support Chelsea. If I don't want to support Chelsea, I could have gone to Arsenal. If I don't have belief of us winning trophy, of us going for anything, so I could have maybe choose Arsenal or choose Burnley. So, I remember the last time when Jen was talking about with David about Chelsea against Aston Villa, you just came up and you speak your mind, and the same thing. That is exactly how I'm feeling, But because I couldn't be able to come up the show and speak my mind, so I like the way you speak. So I like people being positive about Chelsea because since we don't have anybody, if you watch all these Manchester United, Liverpool, they all have people who work in the media like Sky Sports, BT Sports, all of them. So they can speak for their club. So now we have an opportunity where we can speak for our club. So we have to support our club in anywhere we can. So, but coming to maybe if you find anywhere you kind of sound negative about Chelsea, I don't like it. Even when we lose, we have to be proud of our club. We have to support our players. The one that is doing well, the one that is not doing well, you have to support them. That is what they need from you. They don't need any other thing.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah, I agree, mate. I totally hear what you're saying as well. And listen, as much as we dispute players and their performances and have disagreements, some people like Werner, some people like Mount, some people like Zenit, we all have the one thing in common: we support our football club. Well, I hope we do anyway, because social media, especially social media, has become more of a player agenda profile rather than actually backing your actual football club. And football club should always be first, players always second. Remember that. Yeah, the football clubs always stay. Club never goes. Players come and go. Remember that, people, as well. So, it's just how they leave the football club. They either leave as a legend like Lampard and Terry and Hazard did, and they become a part of the history, or they don't, and they just don't perform, and we sack them off and we move forward. But we're Chelsea Football Club, and we have high standards. We're not Arsenal. We're not Spurs. We're not blaming any of these teams. We are, we are who we are. We are who we are, and
we are the
champions of Europe.
We are the Blues of London.
Yeah.
We are the Blues of London.
We are the pride of London.
There's a little mini version
Pride
of
of London, we are.
Pride of Europe.
Exactly, guys. Listen, look, continue smashing the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I will be back at some point with another stream for you guys, as always, to get involved and do so. But if you are new to the channel, like I said, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, because the bell notification button will let you guys know when we go live. If you want to be a part of the Discord group, the link to the Discord channel is below as well. That's where we all go after and talk and stuff. That's in the live chat, and myself's in there and some other people. So you can find us over there. But guys, take care of yourself. Have a good day.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, Jane.
Be healthy.
Thanks.
Do whatever you're going to do. Be happy. We won
Great.
and we move.
We'll be happy on Sunday. Don't worry.
Yeah, we are winning Tottenham. We are winning Tottenham for sure. It's 2-0.
We're slapping them.
And don't forget, Man United are total pretenders, not contenders.
There you go. Pretenders, not contenders, guys. On that note, we'll see you in a bit. Peace.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
VIP, stay low key, like bando, bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah.